Hello, and welcome to the Retirement Purchasing Process video. In this video, we will cover the types of eligible purchases, the purchasing process, and how purchasing service impacts your benefit. A quick disclaimer before we get started. While this presentation is designed to answer most of the questions we have on this retirement topic, it is important to remember that not every detail can be covered. In the unlikely event information in this presentation conflicts, the applicable retirement statutes, regulations, and decided cases that construe them are the true governing law. This information is applicable to Connecticut State Employee Retirement System, or as we call it, CERS members. Welcome to our informational session regarding purchasing opportunities for retirement credit, and of course, welcome to Connecticut State Service. We know for some people the process of employment can be stressful and a little overwhelming, especially being new to state service. This slide provides links to the summary plan description for each tier in CERS, or as we call them, SPDs. This is a detailed description of your plan benefits. We strongly suggest you read the information. For those of you first hired 7/1/2019 forward who become members of CERS Tier 4, both the defined benefit and defined contribution components of CERS Tier 4 are outlined in the links. The focus of this video is purchasable service. Every new employee must complete a CO 800 upon hire. This is a service purchase request form. This form will be permanently on file at the Office of the State Comptroller. To request a purchase, you must be actively employed as a CERS member. You may ask, why am I filling out the CO 800? I just began employment. Why would I think about purchasing credit? This form becomes a part of your permanent retirement record on file at OSC. If no service applies, the top box states none. The form is informative for new employees to understand what opportunity to purchase exists and what would not need to be requested. Available service purchases includes prior military service. This purchase has a deadline to apply within your first year of your first period of state employment. Active duty served during wartime or a national emergency in the U.S. Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or Air Force, for which you received an honorable discharge and for which you are not entitled to a pension from another source. The exception being members who are entitled to a pension from the reserves, not solely active duty. Qualified unpaid military leave. Leaves of absence without pay taken for active duty in the United States Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force, or Space Force, provided that the individual returns to state service within 90 days of honorable release or within 2 years after the end of the period necessary for recovery from certain illnesses or injuries incurred in or aggravated during such service. Service to another state. Full-time employment with another state before your Connecticut state employment began, provided that the other state has similar retirement credit provisions for former Connecticut employees. However, if you received or will receive any benefit, including a lump sum payment for your service to the other state above and beyond your own retirement contributions and interest, you may not purchase retirement credit in Tier 4 for such service. Service to a Connecticut municipality as a member of the Connecticut Municipal Employees Retirement. A period of employment for a Connecticut municipality during which you are a member of the Connecticut Municipal Employees Retirement System, CMERS, provided either that your retirement contributions are withdrawn from CMERS or that they are transferred directly to Tier 4. Documents required include an official statement from the municipality stating your dates of employment and full-time or part-time status. If you were part-time, then you will also need the percentage of a full-time schedule that you worked. Unpaid leave of absence for personal or family illness. Leaves that qualify under applicable law, collective bargaining agreements, or other regulations and that were granted for any of the following reasons: the protection or improvement of the employee's health, the birth or adoption of a child, because of the serious illness of a child, spouse, or parent, or because the employee is seriously ill or serving as an organ or bone marrow donor. Restoration of refund. Restoring prior Tier 4 retirement credit all retirement credit obtained in Tier 4 during a period of prior Connecticut state employment for which your contributions were refunded, provided that there has not been a permanent break in service. Just to reiterate, prior military service purchases have a deadline to apply within your first year of employment. If an employee did not apply to purchase prior military service within 1 year of their first period of employment into state service, that purchase opportunity has been forever forfeited. All other purchase opportunities may be purchased at any time prior to separation from service, meaning resignation, termination, leaving an invested status, or retirement. When a CO 800 is received at OSC, it is reviewed and filed. Identified purchase requests will go to the RSD unit responsible. If your purchase request is not a valid purchase opportunity, you will receive a letter informing of the reasoning behind this denial. If your purchase did not contain the required documentation necessary to process, you will be sent a letter explaining the reasoning behind this denial. That case is closed as it is no longer valid. If documentation comes within 2 weeks of the denial letter, OSC will reopen your case. If your purchase is valid and has all supporting documents to process, a purchase invoice will be mailed to your home address identified in Core CT. There is a deadline for you to complete the invoice and return to OSC. The expiration date is written on the invoice you receive. When an invoice is received, you have the choice to purchase. If you choose not to pay the invoice, the service will not count for retirement purposes. You may reapply at a later date, but take note that greater interest will accrue and will be more expensive in the future. The exception is prior military service, which must be purchased in your first year of state service or it is permanently forfeited. How much will a purchase cost? As a Tier 4 member, you contribute 5% of your total annual salary to SERS in the defined benefit plan, unless you are in a position designated as hazardous duty, or if you are a member of the hybrid plan. If you are in a hazardous duty position, or if you are a member of the hybrid plan, you contribute 8% of your total annual salary to SERS, to the defined benefit plan. In both cases, all of these contributions are made on a pre-tax basis. Retirement purchase interest is currently 5% annually. How does a purchase benefit me? The defined benefit pension calculation at retirement is based on 3 factors. Those factors are your service credit, salary, and age. Hazardous duty utilizes 2 of these factors, salary and service. Age may not be a factor. Once vested, purchased service increases the amount of time used to calculate your permanent pension benefit for your lifetime. Just to reiterate, here is an excerpt from the SPD of your Tier 4 benefit calculation at retirement. Purchasing service will increase that portion of the benefit. In conclusion, this slide provides links for the OSC website and the contact information to OSC customer service. And that concludes our video. Thank you for watching. And if you have any additional questions regarding retirement service purchases, please contact our office's customer service unit by phone at 860-702-3480 or by email at osc.rsd@ct.gov.